Red Hat and Kasten have had a long-term partnership. We're looking at more than 4 years, right? So can you talk a little bit about that collaboration and the co-benefit?
So you're right. I mean, we've had a long-standing relationship. Kasten, even as a startup, was a key partner with the Red Hat OpenShift with a lot of technology integrations. And after our acquisition by Veeam, which has been more than 2 years, the acceleration of that partnership is here for everyone to see. We have a lot more customers talking and using OpenShift and making sure they have the business continuity in place with using things like Kasten K10. And then we also have a growing ecosystem of common partners, both channels as well as system integrators. So it's actually growing well. And not only do we have integrations at the technology level, but now also on the go-to-market level.
That's interesting. We also see more and more development and deployment of mission-critical, stateful applications on Red Hat OpenShift. So how is Kasten helping businesses, particularly with that?
That's a very relevant question, of course. So you're right. I mean, as Kubernetes and OpenShift in particular becomes predominant in a lot of enterprise customers, you see the applications that go out there are serious applications. These could be banking applications, or if you're in a public sector, you have, and data is being created. In fact, some of the most popular workloads on Kubernetes and OpenShift are databases. So as soon as you have those, you need to protect them. I mean, it's common sense, but you'll be surprised how often people get attacked by ransomware and they can't recover because they don't have a backup and disaster recovery policy in place.
Seems fundamental.
You would believe it, right? So in fact, Veeam just came out with a really good ransomware report, and it's depressing reading, but it's also a wake-up call to the industry to sort of say, let's put these business continuity policies in place. So to answer your question though, Kasten is tightly integrated into the OpenShift environment. You can go to the marketplace. We are an operator certified product. You can install us in a few minutes. We'll automatically discover all the applications running in the OpenShift environment. And you can set up easy policies to say, look, I want all of these applications protected at a particular granularity, at a particular cadence, and make sure they're protected in a resilient manner. So maybe move them off-site to an object storage solution, which could be on premises or it could be in the cloud. And then maybe at times, if you do get hit by a disaster or a ransomware, you can actually recover those applications almost seamlessly in a completely different environment. So you could back it up in OCP and then have it come up on ROSA, for example. And that's something that Kasten K10 and OpenShift really take organizations to the next level.
And are these backups automated? They're just happening in the background while you're going about your day-to-day if necessary?
Now, that's another great question. So what ends up happening is, what we are also realizing is Kubernetes is still a young ecosystem. I mean, it's about 9 years young is the way I like to think about it. And so that also means that people don't necessarily have the skills to be black belts in OpenShift or Kubernetes at this point. And so automation plays a key role for you to be able to scale and make sure these critical data protection policies are in place. So the way it works is Kasten can not only automatically discover the applications like I talked about, but it can also hint and say your application is made up of these components, which could be the underlying databases that make up that application. And all you need to do is go ahead and say, yeah, I need to use these policies. And from that point onwards, those policies stay in effect, not only for those applications, but applications like that, which might be introduced into the cluster later. So it's, I would like to say, a fire and forget kind of piece, but obviously you want to make sure that things are automated and tested continuously. And we are very much tied into the pipeline of GitOps, et cetera, that we see people trying to bake in these policies very much earlier and making it a day one operation as opposed to a day two operation.
And when we look at security within the paradigm, it's interesting to think about data availability and how that actually is connected to security. It can be a part of your security strategy.
Yeah, no, so we like to say that backup is the last line of defense, and that's really where Kasten comes in. So we have that, but also actually we released Kasten K10 version 6.0. We announced it here at Red Hat Summit. And one of the key parts of that is to say that we ourselves are a cloud native application. And so we've got deep integrations also with Red Hat ACS, the Advanced Cluster Security product. And you can go ahead and get a makeup of what does our own makeup look like from a security posture perspective and keep that hygiene right. But in addition to that, we use Kubernetes audit logs as a shared context. And that allows you to sort of go ahead and not only use Kasten for your backup and DR policies, but also go ahead and get you advanced warnings in terms of, in case there's a ransomware attack in place, there's a chance that people are going and attacking your storage where you're actually storing your backups. They'll probably fail because hopefully you've turned on immutability, which is what Kasten supports across a variety of people. But the fact that they're trying to delete should go ahead and trigger alarm bells in your security organization. And so Kasten also in real time surfaces those attacks so your security department can actually go ahead and start looking at that high fidelity signal and do something about it.
So watch out, ransomware.
Yeah.
Kasten is there.
That's right. That's a good way to put it.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Linda.